The great tribunal hall of the Zirin Dominion was silent, but the silence was heavy. It pressed down like weight on the chest, making even breathing feel loud. Captain Aaron Cole stood alone at the center of the vast chamber. He was a human soldier, tired from war and captivity, yet standing straight. His uniform was torn, his hands were bound, but his eyes were steady. Around him rose tall black pillars carved with alien symbols. Above him sat the female alien tribunal. 7 alien women, tall and powerful, with pale glowing skin and cold shining eyes. They ruled not only the court, but the fate of entire species. Aaron had fought many battles. He had faced death more than once. But nothing felt as dangerous as this moment. The war between humans and the Zirins was over. Earth had lost, human fleets were broken, and survivors were taken as prisoners. Aaron was one of those survivors, captured while holding the line so others could escape. He expected execution, or endless work in distant mines. He did not expect judgment like this. The central judge leaned forward on her floating throne. Her voice echoed across the hall, calm and sharp. "Human soldier Aaron Cole," she said, "you stand convicted under Zirin law." Aaron lifted his head slightly. He said nothing. He knew speaking without permission could mean death. "You are guilty of violent survival instinct," the judge continued. "Emotional disorder, and uncontrolled loyalty to your own kind." Each word hit harder than the last. To the Zirins, these were crimes. To humans, they were virtues. Alien spectators watched from high platforms. Some looked curious, some looked disgusted, some looked excited. Humans were rare in this place. A human male, even more rare. The judge paused. The silence grew deeper. "You will not be executed," she said. A low murmur spread through the hall. Aaron felt a small release in his chest, but he did not relax. Execution was simple. This pause was not. Instead, the judge said slowly, "You are sentenced to participate in the sacred mating ritual." The words echoed through the chamber. The translator collar around Aaron's neck repeated them clearly. Sacred, mating, ritual. Aaron's breath caught. His mind raced. He had heard whispers in the prison cells, stories told in fear. The Zirin mating ritual was not about pleasure. It was about control, power, and judgment. Aaron raised his eyes, unable to stop himself. "What does that mean?" he asked carefully. A sharp sound moved through the hall. Alien laughter. Not kind, not cruel, just curious. The judge tilted her head slightly. "It means," she said, "you will be tested by our females. In body, will, and truth." Aaron felt cold spread through him. This was not death. This was something worse. "You will not resist," the judge continued. "Resistance is failure. Failure confirms your species as dangerous." Aaron understood at once. This was not only about him. It was about humanity. If he failed, humans would forever be labeled beasts, unfit to stand beside the stars. "I ask one thing," Aaron said, his voice steady despite his fear. The hall went silent again. The judge's eyes narrowed. "You ask after conviction," she said. "Judge me as a soldier," Aaron said, "not as an animal." A ripple of reaction moved through the tribunal. The word animal carried weight in Zirin law. For a brief moment, one judge looked uncertain. Beast did not speak with restraint. Beast did not stand calmly before power. The central judge rose from her throne, towering above him. "When this ritual ends," she said, "you will either be erased or remembered." The floor beneath Aaron slowly opened, revealing a dark path below. Guards stepped forward, not to harm him, but to guide him. As Aaron walked toward the unknown, his heart beat hard in his chest. He did not know what waited below. Pain, shame, or something far worse. But one thought burned inside his mind. If this ritual judged the soul, then humanity would finally be seen. And the galaxy was not ready for that. The path below the tribunal hall descended slowly into darkness. Captain Aaron Cole walked forward without chains, but he did not feel free. The walls around him were smooth and alive with faint light. Alien symbols moved like slow, breathing shadows. Two Zirin guards walked behind him. They did not push him. They did not threaten him. That silence felt more dangerous than force. Aaron focused on his steps, one step at a time, just like training. At the end of the passage, the space opened into a wide, circular chamber. The air was warmer here, heavy with a strange, calm energy. The floor was marked with glowing rings, layered inside one another. This was not a prison. This was a place of judgment. Several Zirin females stood waiting. They were not judges. They were not soldiers. They were ritual overseers. Each one was tall and graceful. Their pale skin reflected the soft blue light. Their eyes studied Aaron closely, as if he were both subject and experiment. One of them stepped forward. Her voice was clear and emotionless. "Human soldier," she said, "you have entered the sacred mating trial." Aaron nodded slowly. "I understand," he said. The overseer tilted her head. "Do you?" she asked. She raised one hand. The glowing rings on the floor brightened. Images filled the air between them. Ancient scenes, other species, other trials. Aaron saw creatures larger than humans collapse in fear. Others screamed. Some attacked. Most failed. This ritual was created to test dangerous species, the overseer said. Species ruled by instinct. Species that cannot control desire or fear. Aaron felt his jaw tighten. "And humans?" he asked. "You are classified as unstable predators," she replied. The words did not surprise him. He had seen what war did to people. He knew what humans were capable of. In this trial, the overseer continued, "You will not be harmed without cause, but you will be pressured. You will be observed. You will be exposed." Another overseer spoke from behind. "Most male subjects attempt dominance," she said, "when surrounded by females, when stripped of rank." Aaron understood. This was not about mating. It was about power. "If you show aggression," the first overseer said, "you fail. If you submit without thought, you fail." Aaron frowned slightly. "What is left?" he asked. The overseer looked at him carefully. "Balance," she said. The rings on the floor shifted. Energy moved upward. A low hum filled the chamber. Aaron felt pressure press against his mind. Not pain, but presence. Memories rose without warning. The battlefield. Orders shouted over noise. Friends falling. Fear wrapped in duty. His breathing quickened, but he did not move. "Do not resist," a voice echoed. "Let your truth surface." Aaron clenched his fists, not in anger, but in control. He remembered the faces of soldiers who trusted him, not because he was stronger, but because he stayed calm when others broke. "I am afraid," Aaron said quietly. The energy paused. The overseers exchanged looks. "He admits fear," one said. "Without weakness," another replied. The pressure increased again. This time emotions surged. Guilt, loss, responsibility. Aaron knies bent, but he stayed standing. "I could not save them all," he said. His voice shook. "But I tried." The chamber grew still. The glowing rings dimmed slightly. "Most deny failure," the overseer said, "or blame others." Aaron lifted his head. "Failure teaches," he said. "If you listen." That sentence changed the air. The overseers watched him differently now. "You are not reacting as expected," one said. "I am human," Aaron replied. The energy faded slowly, leaving exhaustion behind. Aaron breathed deeply. Sweat ran down his face. "Phase 1 of the trial is complete," the overseer announced. "You did not attack. You did not collapse. You did not lie." Aaron said nothing. He was too tired. Another overseer stepped closer. Her voice lower now. "Understand this," she said. "This ritual was meant to break you." Aaron met her gaze. "Then it will need more than fear," he said. For the first time, one of the Zirin females hesitated, as guards returned to guide him away. Aaron felt something shift beyond the chamber walls. The Zirins had expected a dangerous animal. They had found a controlled one, and that discovery made the ritual far more dangerous than before. Aaron Cole was returned to a holding chamber after the first phase of the ritual. It was not a cell. There were no bars, no chance. But the room felt heavier than any prison. The walls were smooth and white. Soft light filled the space from no clear source. There were no corners to hide in, no shadows to escape into. Aaron sat on the floor, his back against the wall. His body ached. His mind felt exposed, as if parts of him were still being watched. Across the complex, the Ziran observers gathered in a separate chamber. Holographic images of Aaron replayed in the air. His calm face, his steady breathing, his refusal to break. "This is incorrect behavior," one female said. "Human males are listed as aggressive." Another replied, "He did not attempt dominance. He did not show mating response. He did not beg. He admitted fear." A third said, "That should indicate weakness." "But it did not," the lead observer answered. "He controlled it." Silence followed that statement. Back in the holding chamber, Aaron closed his eyes. He focused on breathing. Slow in, slow out. He knew the ritual was not finished. He could feel it. This place was designed to prepare subject for pressure. The door opened without sound. 3 Ziran females entered. They wore light, ceremonial armor. Not weapons, not robes. "These are enforcers," Aaron realized. "You will now enter the presence trial," the first one said. Her voice was neutral. "Cold. What does that mean?" Aaron asked. "It means," she replied, "you will be surrounded. You will be tested for instinct, for desire, for submission." Aaron stood slowly. "I understand," he said. The chamber shifted. The floor expanded outward. The walls moved back, creating a wide, open circle. 6 Ziran females now stood around him, each taller than him, each stronger, each trained. Their presence pressed against him like weight. Not physical, mental. Aaron felt his instincts rise. Old instincts. From battle, from survival. Fight, defend, take control. But he did not move. One enforcer stepped closer. So close he could see the fine lines of light across her skin. Her eyes searched his face. "You are surrounded," she said. "I know," Aaron replied. "You are smaller," another said. "Yes," Aaron answered. "You are male," a third added. "Yes," he said again. "Why do you not react?" the first enforcer demanded. Aaron took a breath. "Because reaction without reason is weakness," he said. That answer caused a pause. The enforcers circled him slowly, their movements deliberate, testing. One reached out and placed a hand on his chest. Not gentle, not violent. "Do you feel the urge to control?" she asked. Aaron swallowed. "Yes," he said honestly. Gasps moved through the observers watching remotely. "Then why do you resist?" she pressed. "Because control chosen by force is not control," Aaron replied. "It is fear." The enforcer removed her hand, her expression unreadable. Another suddenly shoved him hard. Aaron stumbled back. Pain shot through his shoulder. "Defend yourself," she ordered. Aaron steadied his footing. He raised his hand slightly. "Not an attack. Not in surrender. I will defend life," he said, "but I will not dominate." The room fell silent. This posture did not exist in Ziran records. It was neither submission nor aggression. "He is balanced," one observer whispered. "He is dangerous," another replied. Minutes passed. No one moved. No one spoke. Finally, the lead enforcer raised her hand. "End trial," she said. The pressure lifted. The enforcers stepped back. Aaron exhaled slowly. His muscles shook. Sweat covered his skin. "You have passed the presence trial," the enforcer announced. "Without violence. Without surrender." Aaron looked up, exhausted. "So what happens now?" he asked. The enforcer hesitated. "For the first time," she said, "the ritual path is unstable." That word mattered. In the observation chamber, alarms of logic and doctrine flickered across displays. Human behavior did not fit the model. "This changes classification," one female said quietly, "or destroys it," another answered. As Aaron was guided back to isolation, he did not know the full impact of what he had done. But across the Ziran dominion, a dangerous idea was spreading. Humans were not ruled by instinct alone. They were ruled by choice. And a species that could choose restraint was far more powerful than one that relied only on control. Aaron Cole was moved again, but this time the guards did not take him to a trial chamber. They guided him through long white halls filled with quiet light. There were no symbols here, no watchers in the shadows. This place felt different. He was brought into a small, open room. No walls, only soft energy barriers. Beyond them stretched a view of stars, slowly turning, endlessly calm. Aaron stood still. This was not a place of fear. It was a place of decision. A single Xiran female entered. She was taller than the others he had seen. Her presence carried authority without force. She wore no armor, only a simple dark robe marked with faint silver lines. "I am High Arbiter Sailrin," she said. "I oversee law, culture, and survival doctrine." Aaron inclined his head slightly. "I am Captain Aaron Cole," he replied. Sailrin studied him carefully. Not his body, not his strength, but his stillness. "You have disrupted our ritual," she said. "Your behavior does not match human classification." Aaron did not speak at first. He waited. "You were expected to fail," Sailrin continued. "To show dominance. To submit. To break. But you did none," she said. Aaron met her gaze. "I only acted as I was trained," he said. "That is the problem," Sailrin replied. She walked slowly around him. "In our society," she said, "males are controlled to maintain order. Females choose sacrifice. Choice is assigned, not shared." Aaron listened closely. "Your species," she said, "shares choice." "Yes," Aaron answered. "That creates instability," Sailrin said. "It creates trust," Aaron replied. She stopped walking. Trust was not a common word in Xiran doctrine. "Our records show humans disobey orders," she said. "Even in war." Aaron nodded. "When orders destroy what we protect," he said, "we change them." "That cost you the war," Sailrin said. "Yes," Aaron replied calmly. "And yet you accept that loss," she said. "You do not blame others." Aaron took a slow breath. "Responsibility does not disappear because it hurts," he said. That answer stayed in the air. Sailrin turned toward the stars. "Our ritual was created to identify predators," she said. "Species that consume without restraint." "And humans?" Aaron asked quietly. "We labeled you unstable," she said. Aaron did not argue. He understood the label. "We are capable of great harm," he said. "But harm is not our goal." Sailrin looked back at him. "Then what is?" she asked. "To protect," Aaron said. "Even when it costs us." Silence followed, deep and thoughtful. "There's a final phase," Sailrin said at last. "One we rarely allow." Aaron straightened slightly. "What kind of phase?" he asked. "Bond proximity," she replied. "You will be placed among those who judge you. Trust pressure will be applied. Fear will be mutual." Aaron understood at once. Pain could be endured, but trust could not be forced. "If you fail," Sailrin said, "you will live. But your species will be sealed, forever classified as a threat." Aaron did not hesitate. "Then I will not fail," he said. Sailrin studied him closely, searching for pride, for arrogance, for desire. She found none of what she expected. For the first time, she said slowly, "I question our conclusions." She moved toward the exit, then stopped. "Answer me one thing," she said. "If humans gain power among the stars, what will you do with it?" Aaron answered without pause. "We will stand between danger and the weak." Sailrin did not respond, but her eyes dimmed slightly, a sign of deep internal conflict. As she left, alarms did not sound, weapons did not rise. But across the Xiran dominion, data models shifted, old doctrines trembled, because one human had done what no fleet ever could. He made the rulers of the stars doubt their certainty. And doubt, once born, could not be controlled. The final phase of the ritual did not begin with force. It began with closeness. Aaron Cole was guided into a wide, open chamber filled with soft white light. There were no weapons, no chants, no symbols carved into the floor, only a smooth circular space and quiet air. This place felt more dangerous than any battlefield. Around the edges of the chamber stood the female members of the tribunal, not seated on thrones, not raised above him. They stood at the same level as the human soldier. This was not normal. Hierarchy mattered to the Zirans. Equality was unsettling. High Arbiter Sailrin spoke from the circle. "This is the bond phase," she said. "No dominance is allowed. No submission is allowed. Only choice." Aaron nodded once. He understood the danger. Pain could be endured. Fear could be controlled. But choice revealed the truth. "You will be placed among us," Sailrin continued. "You may leave at any time, but withdrawal will be recorded." Aaron stepped forward without hesitation. "I will stay," he said. The light in the chamber shifted. Warmth spread through the air. Not physical, emotional. The tribunal members moved closer. Slowly, carefully. Each one carried authority. Each one carried judgment. Yet none touched him. Aaron felt the pressure build inside his chest. Memories rose again. Not of war this time, but of people. His sister laughing as a child. His squad sharing quiet moments before battle. A wounded soldier thanking him with weak words. His breathing slowed. His eyes softened. One tribunal member spoke. "Why do you not take control?" she asked. "You are surrounded." Aaron met her gaze. "Because control without trust destroys both sides," he said. Another step closer. "So you offer trust?" she asked. "Yes," Aaron replied, "but I do not demand it." That answer caused visible reaction. Several tribunal members shifted their stance. Trust was not offered in Ziran culture. It was assigned. The warmth in the chamber deepened. Emotional pressure increased. Not pain, not fear, but vulnerability. Aaron felt tears form in his eyes. He did not hide them. He did not wipe them away. One of the younger tribunal members froze. "You show weakness," she said. Aaron shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "I show truth." The bond field reacted. Light pulsed softly. Data streams shifted across hidden systems. "He is not breaking," one observer whispered from a distant chamber. "He is opening," another replied. Sailrin stepped forward, her voice calm but strained. "Our ritual was meant to expose desire," she said. "Control, fear, and now," she added quietly, "it exposes trust." Aaron stood still as the pressure reached its peak. Every instinct told him to protect himself, to close his heart, to shield his thoughts. But he did not. "I will not harm you," he said softly, "even if you harm me." The words settled into the chamber like weight. No species had ever spoken them during the bond phase. The light flared once, then slowly faded. Silence filled the space, deep and complete. Sailrin lowered her head slightly, a gesture never seen before from a tribunal leader. "The ritual is complete," she said. The other members looked at her in shock. "So soon?" one asked. "There is nothing more to test," Sailrin replied. "The subject has revealed the core of his species." Aaron exhaled deeply. His body trembled, not from fear, but from release. "What happens now?" he asked. Sailrin looked at him, and for the first time, there was no judgment in her eyes. "Now," she said, "we must judge ourselves." Across the Ziran Dominion, systems updated, old classifications flickered, dangerous predator shifted to unknown balance. The ritual that was meant to break a human had instead broken certainty. And certainty was the foundation of Ziran control. As Aaron was guided out of the chamber, he did not feel victorious. He felt exposed, but he also felt something new, hope, because the most powerful moment of the ritual was not domination, not submission. It was a single human choosing trust in a place built on fear, and that choice was about to change the fate of two species. The chamber of judgment was open again, but it no longer felt the same. The black pillars still stood tall. The floating thrones still hovered above the floor. Yet something invisible had shifted. Captain Aaron Cole stood once more at the center of the tribunal hall. This time his hands were not bound. Guards stood at a respectful distance, not as captors, But as witnesses, the female members of the tribunal entered in silence. Their movements were slower than before, measured, thoughtful. High Arbiter Sailrin took her place at the center throne, her expression calm, but no longer cold. The sacred mating ritual is concluded, she announced. Her voice echoed across the vast hall. A low wave of reaction moved through the alien spectators. Some leaned forward, others exchanged uneasy glances. Aaron remained still. His heart beat steadily. Whatever came next would shape the future of humanity. Sailrin raised one hand. By ancient law, she said, the subject should now be classified. Symbols appeared in the air, glowing records of past trials, lines of data comparing species, outcomes marked with failure. Humans were previously labeled unstable predators, Sailrin continued, driven by emotion, prone to violence. Several tribunal members shifted uncomfortably. These words now felt uncertain. Aaron listened without reaction. He had learned that truth did not need defense. However, Sailrin said, the ritual revealed contradiction. The word echoed loudly. Contradiction was dangerous in Ziran law. The human subject displayed emotional awareness, she said, but also restraint. He showed fear, but did not surrender to it. He showed strength, but did not seek control. Whispers spread through the hall. Some voices angry, some confused. This behavior does not align with predator classification, one tribunal member said. Another replied sharply, or it represents a more dangerous form of predator. Sailrin lifted her hand again. Silence returned instantly. Predators consume, she said calmly. They take without care. They do not choose restraint. She turned her gaze toward Aaron. This human chose restraint, she said. The words struck the hall like impact. For the first time in our history, Sailrin continued, a subject completed the ritual without domination or submission. A murmur of shock spread. By law, she said, this result forces a new verdict. The glowing symbols shifted. Old classifications faded. New space opened, blank and undefined. Aaron felt the weight of the moment press against him. The tribunal declares, Sailrin said slowly, Captain Aaron Cole is not guilty of cultural threat. Gasps echoed across the chamber. He is designated as a symbol of balance, she continued, a representative of a species capable of controlled power. The hall erupted in reaction. Some alien spectators shouted in protest. Others watched in stunned silence. One tribunal member rose abruptly. This verdict weakens our dominance, she said. If humans are accepted, our hierarchy will fracture. Sailrin did not turn toward her. Our hierarchy was built on certainty, she replied, and certainty has failed. That sentence carried more force than any weapon. Sailrin faced Aaron directly. Captain Cole, she said, your punishment is lifted. You are no longer a prisoner. Aaron inhaled slowly. He did not smile. This was not victory. It was responsibility. You will return to your people, Sailrin continued, as proof. Proof that humanity is not ruled by instinct alone. Aaron nodded once. I will, he said. But understand this, Sailrin added. Your actions have consequences. Our society will resist this change. Aaron met her gaze. So will mine, he said. For a moment, something like respect passed between them. As the tribunal session ended, the great hall began to empty. Voices rose in heated debate. Ancient laws were being questioned for the first time. Across the Ziran Dominion, signals spread through governance networks. Classification updates triggered alarms. Human status changed from threat to unknown balance. Aaron was escorted out of the hall, not by guards, but by envoys. As he walked through the long corridors, he felt the weight of countless eyes upon him. He was no longer just a soldier. He was evidence. Evidence that humans could feel deeply and still choose control. Behind him, the tribunal hall stood unchanged in stone and light, but its authority had cracked. because one human had passed a ritual meant to break him. And in doing so, he had broken the certainty of an empire. The final judgment was complete, but the consequences were only beginning. The transport ship moved quietly through open space. Stars passed slowly outside the wide viewing window. Captain Aaron Cole stood alone, his hands resting at his sides. He was free, but he did not feel light. Behind him, the Ziran Dominion was in chaos. Debates filled their councils. Ancient laws were questioned. Old certainty was breaking apart, all because of one human. Aaron was no longer a prisoner. He was no longer a subject. He was a message. The ship's systems chimed softly. A communications signal opened. High Arbiter Sail Rin appeared on the display. "You are leaving our territory," she said. "Yes," Aaron replied. "Your people will hear what happened," she continued. "And so will ours." Aaron nodded. "They deserve the truth," he said. Sail Rin studied him carefully. "You did not seek power," she said, "and yet you changed it." Aaron looked out at the stars. "I only chose how to act," he replied. The signal ended. The ship continued forward. Across the galaxy, the story spread fast. A human soldier faced the female alien tribunal. He was condemned. He was tested. He was expected to fail. He did not. On Earth, the message arrived weeks later. In ruined cities and underground shelters, human leaders watched the recordings in silence. They saw a man stand calm before power. They saw him refuse domination. They saw him refuse surrender. Hope returned quietly. For the first time since the war, humans were not described as beasts. They were described as balanced. Back in the Ziran Dominion, resistance grew. Some demanded Aaron's verdict be erased. Some demanded the ritual be ended. Others watched the recordings again and again, trying to understand, how can a species feel so deeply and still choose restraint? Young Zirans began to ask questions about choice, about trust, about shared responsibility, questions their empire had avoided for generations. Aaron's ship reached the edge of human space. A damaged fleet waited to escort him home, ship scarred by war, but still flying. As Aaron stepped onto human ground, soldiers saluted him, not because he was a hero, but because he had carried humanity's weight alone. Aaron did not give speeches. He did not seek command. When asked what happened, he answered simply, "They tested what they feared and found what they did not understand." Months passed. Diplomatic channels opened slowly. Cautiously, the Zirans no longer spoke of humans as animals. They spoke of them as unpredictable, and that word carried both fear and respect. The sacred mating ritual was suspended, not destroyed, but questioned. For the first time, the tribunal did not look outward for threats. They looked inward, and across the stars, other species noticed. They noticed that the Ziran Dominion hesitated, that their certainty had cracked. They noticed why. Because one human soldier proved something simple and dangerous. Power without control destroys. Control without choice enslaves. But strength with restraint creates balance. Aaron Cole returned to a quiet life. He trained new soldiers. He taught discipline. He taught calm. He never spoke of the ritual in detail. He did not need to. The galaxy remembered for him. They remembered the human who stood before alien queens and chose respect over fear. In time, new alliances formed, not built on dominance, but on shared understanding. And whenever humans were judged by the stars, the answer was no longer simple, because one truth had been written into galactic history. Humans were not weak because they felt. They were powerful because they chose. And that choice made them impossible to control. The trial was over. The verdict was delivered. But the story of humanity had only just begun.